Now, another incident that sparked some controversy on Monday, this idea of treating or vote buying, which emerged particularly in Ayawaso, West Wuogon, where, food was offered to some people waiting to vote. Now, I know that not only here in Ghana, but in other jurisdictions, including the United Kingdom, sometimes parliamentary aspirants will organize transportation for those heading to the ballot box, particularly the elderly, the infirm, those with disabilities. They will provide transportation for them to go and vote. Now, under our laws, would that be considered treating?
The problem is not about the law. The problem is about where we go and pick laws from other countries and we don't innovate around them to meet our circumstance. This law is applicable elsewhere because their conditions, allow for it to be obeyed. Here, this law is observed in breach. You and I know that's what is going on. Because, for example, what happened with Lydia Alhassan, and I said yesterday, he ought to have been arrested. But he's not. Well, I know that if it was John Domelo who had done it, he would have been arrested. Okay? That's the arbitrary nature and the selective nature in which we do our laws here. So, the law says, and it's plain English, very simple. It says a person commits the offense of treating if he corruptly, either himself or through another person, before, during or after an election, gives or provides or pay wholly or in part the expenses of giving or providing meat, drink, entertainment, or provision, all for any person. Now, it has to be done with a purpose. So it begins by saying, if you do it corruptly, either by yourself or through some other person, so directly or indirectly, before the elections, during the election, or after the election, if you are giving money, you are paying for someone's food or drink or meat, either you are paying in full or you are paying in part, you are committing the offense of treating, and the purpose for which you are doing that must be, and it says, for the purpose of corruptly influencing that person or another person to vote or refrain from voting, or on account of that person or another person having voted or refrained from voting, or being about to vote or refrain from voting, or if he corruptly accepts or takes any meat. So the first one has to do with the giving. So the giver is caught. And the second part has to do with the taker. It says, if you corruptly accept or you take any meat, drink, entertainment, or provision offered in the circumstances and for the purposes mentioned above, then you are caught by the law.
Right.
So we know that when they bust these people, they don't bust them and with the hope that they are going to vote for someone else. And when they bust them, they actually pay them extra money. When they give them food, like happened in the primary, we saw the food, they give it together with an envelope. Okay? This is crime being committed in broad daylight. But yesterday, as I mentioned again, Section 42 of this law actually renders this law impotent, particularly when the offense is committed by persons whose party is in government. Because you require the law says the written consent of the Attorney General to be able to prosecute the offenses under this law. And the police will not be able to prosecute because the Attorney General will not give the consent for you to prosecute, the party people. That's why I say our best bet is the Office of Special Prosecutor. They can prosecute these offenses under the color of corruption, and they do not need Attorney General's fiat or consent.